I'll say this in his defense, the central idea can carry more than one statement.
It can.
And it's a profound idea.
That first book is God. I mean, that's some of the best writing I know of ever.
This is from Michael David Cobb Bowen, Stoic Observations. Once upon a time in Black America, we had great writers like Richard Wright, James Baldwin, Ralph Ellison, Langston Hughes, Lorraine Hansberry, whose works were internationally successful. Who do we have now? Are they up to the standard?
What is this person's name again?
The name is Michael David Cobb Bowen.
Okay. Keep going.
That's it. That's the question. The question is, who do we have? And I assume Black America is the we here. And who do we have now? Percival Everett, Colson Whitehead. These are people who come to mind, but you're perhaps better placed than I am to give a list of Ta-Nehisi Coates. I'm sure if you go to ChatGPT and you ask contemporary Black writers of significance, his name is going to be on the list. And so is Ibram X. Kendi's name going to be on the list, though I wouldn't put them in the Percival Everett or the Colson Whitehead category.
I know this guy.
Oh, do you?
He used to have a blog called Cobb, and I met him. You may have met him over in England. Remember that thing we did a couple Januaries ago?
Yeah, I do remember that thing.
He was there. He is a very writerly and brilliant person. I'm sure that we can say that Coates, in terms of his art, is on the level of those people. I don't think there's any problem in saying that. I read more old books than new books, but I get the feeling that it isn't just hype, the attention that Jessamine Ward gets. I have one of her novels out in the.
Oh yeah, she should be on the list.
And I never get to it, but from what people say, she is definitely on that list. I think Thomas Chatterton Williams is a very artful writer. When I read his stuff, I'm always thinking, I wish I had these sentences. I always think I like what I say, but I do not have that artfulness of phraseology. So I would put him there. What's another woman? Black American woman who's I would put on the level of Toni Morrison or Gloria Naylor, who I used to really like. I read a lot of her. I just don't read enough modern fiction to say. Percival Everett, I read the one book, and I thought that was damn good. And if the other one, the American Skin Game, if that's as good as James, then he is definitely in that class. And then essayists. Stanley Crouch was, I think, as good as and often more interesting than both of us are tired today, than Ralph Ellison. I thought Stanley Crouch was a great essayist. He's kind of stopped doing it a little early, but I would have put him in that class. I learned a lot from his work. Glenn, you look a little skeptical.
No, I don't mean to be skeptical at all. Stanley was a good friend of mine back in the day. We contemporaries. Unfortunately, he didn't live as long as he should have done.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree that he's a significant essayist. And I think Ellison, it's kind of tragic case in a way. I mean, Invisible Man was such a huge, impactful, great work of art. A very profound and deeply philosophical and subtle reflection. And he never produced anything else of lasting value. I mean, the essays, Shadow and Act, I think that's the name of the book that collects some of his essays, are noteworthy. But if you were to say, put Crouch up against Shadows and Acts, put Notes of a Hanging Judge up against Shadows and Act, I'd say if it wasn't Ellison behind Shadows and Acts, it wouldn't even be close.
Another thing with Ellison, and you can't help what times you live in, et cetera, but I'm trying not to criticize the god, but he never understood modern post-civil rights, let it all hang out Black America. He was always waiting for everybody to put their fedoras back on and kind of, wear a wool suit. And he didn't get boogie. He didn't get dressing like a pimp. He didn't get let it all hang out. He didn't get Tell Me Something Good, yeah. And, that's not my world either, but I can see it from the outside and get it. I don't think, why don't you all go back to acting like Bayard Rustin? He never got that. Whereas Stanley did. Stanley understood that. I imagine Ellison listening to Mingus and not quite getting it. It's too shaggy. It's not tight enough. He wants to listen to Jimmy Rushing. It's just that. He never quite got that. Whereas Stanley was quite comfortable with the late 20th century. And so he's more entertaining, I think.
That's an interesting observation. We haven't mentioned Shelby Steele. Maybe we should.
Oh, Shelby, of course. Yeah.
Because he's still with us.
He is. And to be honest, I'm going to say this now. I'm going to be 60 in October. Kind of like Ellison in that the first book is God. I'm not sure if he ever wrote another one, to be honest.
He's been writing the same book for 40 years.
Frankly, I'd have to say so. And
it's 50 years.
It's an excellent book. But
I agree with you
I'm
about
always
that.
waiting for another one. So,
well, I'll say this in his defense: the central idea, can carry more than one statement.
It can.
So, and it's a profound idea.
And that first book is God. I mean, that's some of the best writing I know of ever, and Black writing. And the other ones are often great writing. Yes, he definitely has to be on that list.